it's back to the ABAX Stadium this weekend. Barnsley are the visitors, and it caps off what's been a tough week in terms of the opposition.
Yeah, it's been a tough week. Every week's a tough week in League One, Phil. It's great when you're 3 goals ahead with 3 minutes to play. Then you can think it's an easy time. A lot of good teams. We face another one on Saturday. We've just faced a couple. Every week is real tough.
Yeah. In terms of Sunderland, I think you said to the radio there when you analysed the game, you were disappointed with the first half, potentially with the formation. Is that a fair comment?
No, the question was I disappointed with getting a point at Sunderland, and that was a quote I used afterwards. And what I said is that disappointment was in a number of factors. The first factor is I was disappointed in myself because I believe I got the shape and the personnel wrong. And it wasn't for the want of researching our opponents and trying to work on something that 1,000,000% we all believed as a staff that could hurt them. But you have to take accountability as a manager, and I was the one that said to the players at half time, we're going to change it because I have got this wrong for us and we're all in this together. So we changed it at half time. It wasn't so much about individuals coming on that were going to be much better than those going off. It was a case we wanted to freshen it up. And my final words at half time is I'd rather lose here at the stadium like 3 or 4-0, but have a real go at trying to get into the match. I think there's absolutely no doubt with anyone else in the stadium that based on the 90 minutes, a draw is probably the fair result. If it was based on the 45 in the second half, we should have won 4 or 5.
Yeah. In terms of the second half performance, I think anyone watching that could see that's probably the best we've played, particularly away from home this season. Is that a fair comment?
Yes, an absolutely 100% comment as well. The whole group knew afterwards, and my message to the group was, for half an hour in that second half, if we could play like that in 70, 80, 90 minutes of other games, then we know we will be next season, and it won't be in League One. So it's a tough ask. It was individuals at the top of the game. More importantly, Phil, it was individuals working as hard as they can possibly work. And our group I've believed it back in the summer when we put them together. I think they're a special group. I think they've got such a desire. They're all young and hungry. This is the youngest Posh squad in many years. And people over the years have been describing Posh as young. I never seen it because it wasn't true. This is a young group, all young enough to most of them, 90% of them to be 95% of them to be my son. And it's great, and they bring that energy, they bring that willingness every day to walk with a smile that wants to improve. And even in the harshest of words, they stay together, and we stick together. We'll criticise, they'll criticise us. We're a team, and it's Team Posh.
In terms of what Barnsley come to the ABAX with on Saturday, obviously they've kept the majority of their squad from last season, and obviously one of the favourites at the start of the season. I guess you've seen nothing to suggest they won't be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. Oh,
they'll be thereabouts for sure. They lost one player from their championship group that they choose to sell. They got decent money from, but it was, it's been replaced with another money addition. They're a good side. I was a local rival manager to them, of course, at Rotherham United and Barnsley, just 12, 13 miles, whatever it is, just up the motorway. They're a good side, good club. They'll bring a good support with them as they always do around the country. Nothing but admiration and respect. But hold on, we're a good team. We're at home. We've got good players. We've invested in our squad. We'll continue to invest in our squad. That's time and money from our chairman. And we'll be looking at Saturday's match in a confident manner. But at the same time, the Posh public will once again see another excellent side. And what should be noted, it's not been really noticed, what should be noted is we're tending to have played most of the teams at the top in this little run we've been in. And that gives us a true benchmark of where we are.
Yeah, but everyone wants to find a negative, don't they? In terms of you look at the results and think, oh, we drew a couple of games, lost one at the ABAX Stadium. I mean, when you put it into context, lost one all season. But I guess that goes to show that people are looking for perfection, and I'm sure you're no different to that.
Listen, we've lost once to a good Portsmouth side who are the league leaders, and I think no one on the day thought anything other than it was a evenly matched contest of which they took 2 of the chances of they made. We missed a couple and probably should have equalised. So that's the game we've lost. We've drawn a couple of games. Doncaster we should have lost. We didn't perform anywhere near our capabilities. Blackpool we should still win the game despite us not quite reaching the levels we have in other games. We know how tough it is. I don't care whether points come at home or away. I prefer them to come at home. Why? Because we got 7,000-8,000 Posh fans coming to see us every week. So you want to be winning in front of them. But come May, they don't care where the points have come from. What we've had is a good start. What we need is an excellent mid, and what we need is an outstanding finish to what is a marathon of a season. After Saturday, over 25% of the season has gone after Saturday. That's always the benchmark for when people look at league tables and see where we are. It's important for both clubs.
Yeah, the onus is normally picking up points at home, because away from home it's more difficult. But if you're winning your games away from home, as you say, it doesn't really matter where they come from.
I think the saying always is in football that if you take care of your home form, then anything you get is on the road is a bonus. But the teams that ultimately are successful over a campaign have very, very good form, either home or away, in good form at the other place, if you like. We have to make sure that if we are very good away from home, we have to make sure as a minimum we're good at home. In terms of results, and football never changes. It's a results business, as my good friend Steve Bruce has just found out.
Just finally, in terms of team selection, George Cooper back in amongst the group. No other knocks or niggles at the moment?
No, we got Marcus, who's missed today with a little virus, but the doctor's confident he'll be fine again in the morning. It's some of the lads had it last week leading up to Saturday's game, one or two. Even Ryan Tavazoli was struggling a bit on Sunday and leading up to Sunderland. It didn't affect a big man who was absolutely brilliant in the second half. When people think perhaps a virus weakened you, like it didn't show that with Ryan. So we're hopeful Marcus will come in the morning. George has trained fully this morning. We're expecting no after effects from him. We've given them sufficient time. The one or two like Tyler Denton, etc., will be after the weekend and then back fit. We're in great shape. What time to be involved with Posh? It's fantastic. Barnsley coming on Saturday. This is one of those days I used to drive out the city and think, Posh are playing Barnsley, Posh are playing one of these big clubs. These are days to be savoured. Doesn't matter whether you're Steve Evans or anyone. If you're a Posh supporter or any Posh blood in your body, then you're thinking this is another great afternoon at the ABAX.